How's it going, everybody? Who do we have? What did we play? And what do we place?
My name is Adrian Maldonado. I play Melffy Spright, and I got top 4 at Fort Worth Regional.
Let's go top 4. Oh yeah, all right. Do you have any shout outs before we start?
Yeah, shout outs to my sponsor, Main Phase. They're awesome. I really appreciate everything they're doing. Shout out to everybody that came with me, Gio, Lee, my boy, Dooley.
That's your son.
Shout out to all of Wombo Combo, Eddie, Jose, Nunez, Jade, Zach. Shout out to everyone, Brandon. I'm going to forget about a lot of people. Shout out to everybody from San Antonio. I'm going to forget all the names, but yeah, shout out to everybody.
All right, now let's get into it.
Alright. So for the Nimble package, pretty standard. Nimble Beaver, 2 Angler. This card stuck to my hand today, but it's a level 2, so it did work. For Sprites, we have 3 Sprite Blue, 3 Jet, 1 Carrot, 1 Red, pretty standard. And then for the Melffys, Melffy Penny and Melffy Caddy.
Hey, let's go.
So these pretty much just get you Herald. That's really it. A lot of the times I drew this card, so it was fine. I didn't have to I didn't have to go into like seed to get to it, but these cards are pretty good. They do what they need to do. It's a very small engine, which is what I liked about them, and they get you an Omni Negate. And a lot. Go ahead.
How many times did you resolve it?
Probably every time I went first, usually, unless I got like triple hand trap, and if they triple hand trap me, then they're probably losing anyways. And then for Spread spells, we played 3 starter and double cross. I didn't play Smashers, and I also played Gamma Burst. I didn't play Smashers, so I played it in the side deck. I don't think that card like does anything going second. You have to already be playing for it to be live. So every time I drew it going second and like testing, it just never was enough. And then right now, trading a level 2 on your board with one of their cards isn't really like a good trade because you're technically trading 2 for 1, and Spright isn't strong enough anymore to trade 2 for 1 like that. But Gamma Burst was like the best card in the deck. Some games probably just made games a little easier. Like I was in a winning position anyways, but some games like just people pass back. Like Spright has no grind game whatsoever. So it's just like live turn 1, game 2, you're like turn 2 you're dead if you don't like pass on interruptions. So that was like the game plan all day.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then for consistency through prosperity, I think this is pretty mandatory in Spright at this point. There's no point in playing like the draw stuff or like Ipper or anything like that. Like this card's just crazy. I think I only bricked once this time. That was my 1 loss to Plunder. Shout out to Brandon. But yeah. And then for non-engine, we played 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, best hand trap in the deck, 3 Gamma, drew Driver the last round. That was a very interesting round against Labyrinth, but we got there. 3 Book of Moon. I didn't play much cash today, so this card didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. I kind of wish maybe like 1 was Fenrir and make room for the second Fenrir somewhere. If I had to like redo the list, I think I'd probably make room for that, but this card was solid. That's a good 6 card. You can see it off Prosperity, so it's pretty solid. Talents, I didn't draw this card a lot today. The games I did, it just instantly won because your deck pushes really well through hand traps, like an Ash, Veiler, or, I mean, Nib's not really relevant against this deck, but Gamma, things like that, you can usually push through, and then so if you have anything to push, you just Talents, look at their hand, and the game's over. And then 2 Cosmic. I chose to main this. I've been maining this for a while. I think it's pretty good in this format, like being able to trade 1. It's traded with Blackout against Sword Soul. It trades with Kashtira Birth, which is the best card in that deck. It trades with Field Spells, and then like Skill Drain and like Trap Tricks, like Labyrinth and Trap Tricks are really annoying for this deck, so you have to run like some back row removal. And like Smashers isn't really that because you have to already be playing, like I said. So this is just something it's just more reactive, and you don't have to minus. That's it for the main deck.
Okay.
For the extra deck, we played For the links, 2 sprint, second sprint came up all the time. If I was going first and already comboing, like if they didn't hand trap like my nimble or my blue and stuff like that, then I would banish the other one off prosperity. And then Phoenix and Cerberus, I think these both came up. Like Phoenix definitely came up like 2 or 3 times. Cerberus only came up like once, but I think this could have easily been something else. I just like I think like it's better when you have like nib in your deck, so you can like pop the nib token and get over it. But it was solid. It was fine. For the Exceeds, 2 gigantic, of course. Third one came up one time, but I was still able to win that game. But my theory was that, like I said, Spright can't grind. So if you get into a grind game and you need the third one, you're probably losing anyways. Melffy of the Forest is the card that gets the Melffy. A lot of people didn't like really read this card fully. When they asked what it did, I just told them they could read it, and they didn't just like read it right, I guess, because they were like special Fenrir and things like that. And with turn player, they have to activate their effect after you bounce, and then you can like chain link 2, negate it, and it can attack, so it's really good. Mannequin Cat, I don't run any like cute targets for this. This is just, it's actually really good when they ash you. So some hands I hope they ash me. That way I can like special back their ash if they're playing cash that puts a body on board, and then you can target their ash and special carrot or red from the deck. So it's just really good for that purpose.
Nice.
Obimaru, this card came up a lot. It just helps you kill. So when you want to kill like with Gamma Burst, you banish it off the field just to clear it off, and that way you can just attack for game. Mosquito, I was told by Zeke to play this card. This card never came up at all. I thought that like you don't need it because of Gamma Burst, like that's the way you kill, and I was right. Like it's just, this card just never came up, but it was nice having it in there, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really miss anything else in the extra deck, so nothing else really mattered. This card came up a couple times. It just outstings like Marriage Jade and like big things that you don't want to go to grave. It just like bounces it to extra, and it can't be destroyed by battle. So it pretty much does what like Mosquito does, but it also can like bounce things. But I feel like you can just play one of these. You don't have to play both of them moving forward. And then Downer, Double Zeus, and the Herald. I didn't play the Melffy Synchro 4. I don't think that card comes up, and I was right. It's just not real. Herald's just always better.
And then sauce.
For side deck, for going first cards, we played 3 Judgment and 2 Anti-Spell. I was on 3 Anti-Spell for a while, but I put in the Change of Heart last minute. You'll see in a bit. And for siding patterns, this just worked out. You only have like room for a certain amount of slots going first, and I saw Anti-Spell against Sword Soul like in round 8, and it really came up pretty clutch. For going second cards, 3 Dark Ruler for the Mirror. This card's also crazy against Sword Soul. It's crazy against a lot of things. It's like mediocre against Cash if they're like locking your zones, but hopefully they're just not getting there because of your hand traps. But a combination of like a hand trap and this, you can usually just like, this is a Zeus deck, so you just want to like Dark Ruler and Zeus the board. Droll, this is for all like the rogue decks. So like Dark World, Drytron, Live Twins, Runic Spright, like a lot of the stuff that just like adds. Even in the Mare, like Melffy, this hurts Melffy Spright, especially like depending on how they start.
Did you get drilled at all?
Yeah, I got drilled a lot. Against the Mathmech player, we were just like drilled each other 2 times, and it was just. I think that drill obviously hurts them a lot more than it hurts me, but it definitely hurts this deck for sure. And then for like 4 1-ofs, I played Heartbeat's Feather Duster, the 3rd Cosmic, because this is just. I didn't play Evenly Match. I think Evenly Match is a crazy card, but this is a Zeus deck, and I always wanted like Zeus to be like an option, so I throw all my cards at him, and then Zeus be my last option. And I liked Cosmic because it was more reactive. And then Change of Heart, and then the Smashers. That way, it's a searchable like Cosmic for Labyrinth. Like the game's gonna be slow anyways versus Trap Trick and Labyrinth, so you can afford to run Smashers for those matchups. But I didn't really, honestly. It did make me top. Last round, we were top decking, and I sprinted. He changed Skill Drain. I changed Smashers, hit the Skill Drain and sprint, and then that won me the game. So it did give me my top. To be fair.
Let's go.
I was hating on the card, but it did pretty well.
Would there be anything that you would change if you were?
I might try to fit Fenrir, maybe like cut Book of Moon to 2. I'm not sure. I mean, the deck performed well. My only loss was the Plunder, and I that was like the only time I braked. But for the most part, yeah, shout out to Brandon. He did really well today too. He's a good player. But that's about it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your top 4 at the 4 regional. and we'll see y'all next time, guys.